Hello and welcome. I'm a specialist in hospitality AI, and I've spent my career seeing how data, especially financial data, is the absolute key to running a successful hotel. Today, we're going to dive deep and break down exactly how that engine works. I'm thrilled to welcome all the students from Europe Hotel School. What we've put together here is designed specifically for ambitious pros like you, people who want to bridge the gap between classroom theory and the real-world operations you'll soon be leading. So let's get right to it. Here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll get the big picture of a hotel's financial engine. Then, we'll get specific on profit centers. After that, we'll look at the main revenue drivers, explore some other income streams, and we'll wrap it all up with why getting the numbers right is everything. Okay, let's start with Section 1. I want you to think about a hotel, not just as a building with rooms, but as this living, breathing financial ecosystem. You know, it's easy to think that it's all about room sales. And yeah, that's usually the biggest piece of the pie. But a truly profitable hotel, a thriving one, understands that all its different parts, all its outlets, have to work together. Knowing how each one contributes is just fundamental to a healthy bottom line. So, how do we even begin to analyze a structure that complex? Well, we start with a really foundational concept that you'll hear everywhere in the industry, the profit center. So what is a profit center? Simply put, it's any part of the hotel that brings money in directly. The easiest way to think about it is like a little mini business. Say the spa or the restaurant that operates inside the bigger hotel. Each one has its own revenue and its own performance goals. Now, this slide here highlights a really critical distinction. You've got your profit center, like the restaurant, that directly earns revenue. But then you have cost centers. Think of departments like engineering, housekeeping, or marketing. They are absolutely essential for the hotel to run, but they don't sell anything directly to a guest. Both are vital, but you measure their success in totally different ways. And you might be thinking, okay, that's just some accounting term, but it's so much more than that. This is a powerful strategic tool. Once you know where your profits are actually coming from, you can make smarter decisions about where to invest your money, you can measure how efficient each department is, and you can build specific, tailored strategies to make each part of your business even better. All right, now for the fun part. Let's take a little tour of the hotel's biggest and most important profit centers. These are the real heavy hitters that form the backbone of the whole operation. No surprise here, number one is the rooms division. But it is so much more than just the nightly rate on the door. You've got revenue from people paying to upgrade their room, fees for checking in early or checking out late, those no-show penalties, even paid amenities. Every single one of these items goes straight to the bottom line. Coming in at a strong number two is food and beverage, or as you'll always hear it called, F&B. This is another major powerhouse, and it covers everything from your main restaurants and bars to the mini bars, room service, and, pro tip here, the often extremely profitable banquets and catering side of the business. And this chart really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? In a typical hotel, you can see that rooms and F&B are the absolute titans, making up about 90% of all the revenue. But that last 10%, that other slice, that's where things can get really interesting. But before we dive into that 10%, a quick but critical point about the biggest piece of the pie. Accuracy in the rooms division is non-negotiable. Why? Because even one small posting error can completely throw off your key performance metrics, like your average daily rate, or ADR, and your revenue per available room, RevPAR. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they are the vital signs of your hotel's financial health. Okay, so let's explore that other category we just saw on the chart. It might only be 10%, but these revenue streams are often what sets an average hotel apart from a truly great one. In luxury hotels and resorts, for example, the Spa and Wellness Center is a huge profit center. And we're not just talking about massages. It's the whole package: specialized treatments, fitness classes, salon services, and even high-margin retail products. It can seriously boost profitability. And the list just keeps going. Think about it. Paid airport shuttles, fees for using the business center, guest laundry services, and parking. Especially in a busy city, that can be a gold mine. Even the commissions your concierge team earns from booking tours or theater tickets gets tracked as departmental revenue. And that's really the key takeaway here. Any one of these might seem small compared to room sales, right? But when you add them all up, their cumulative effect can have a major positive impact on the hotel's financial success. It's all about building multiple streams of income. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important section. We're going to connect all this theory to a very real, very practical role inside the hotel, the person who makes sure all this data is trustworthy. I want you to meet the guardian of the hotel's finances, the night auditor. This is the person who, while everyone else is asleep, meticulously checks and reconciles every single transaction from every single department. They make sure every dollar finds its correct home. So let's put ourselves in the auditor's shoes for a second. Here's a real-world scenario. The hotel is completely full, but when you look at the restaurant's report, the revenue seems really low. What's going on? Is the restaurant just having a bad night? Or could it be something else, like a posting error? So what does a good auditor do? They don't just accept the numbers, they investigate. They'll start by reviewing the restaurant's own reports, then they'll cross-reference everything with the main property management system. They hunt for any discrepancies and find the source of the problem, whether it's a simple typo or a bigger issue. The final product of all this careful work is the daily financial report. This document, which breaks down revenue by each and every profit center, becomes the single source of truth. It's what management uses every single morning to see how they're performing against their budgets and their forecasts. And ultimately, this is why mastering departmental revenue is so critical for a manager. This accurate data isn't just for the finance department, it drives everything. It tells you how to staff your outlets, where to spend your marketing dollars, how to price your rooms, and even where you need to focus on improving your service. See, it's not just about counting money at the end of the day. It's about understanding the story that the money is telling you. When you have reliable departmental data, you empower your entire team to make smarter decisions and achieve that long-term sustainable success we're all after. The only question left is, what story will your data tell?